Good evening from BBC London News. I'm Louisa Preston. The Mayor has reopened the debate about whether schools should close in bad weather. Boris Johnson has warned that it can have a devastating impact on parents. Some head teachers have told us they don't take the decision lightly, but one said confidentially he believes government attendance targets are to blame. Sarah Harris reports.
For 8-year-old Maya, it's another day off school in Harrow. But the third day at home couldn't have come at a worse time for her mum, who's an accountant and who's had to rely on neighbours and friends so she can reach an important deadline.
It's been very, very hectic. I've been doing 11 hours nearly each day to try and get everything done in between trying to help Maya.
At his annual address to the city last night, Boris Johnson made clear his feelings over school closures, saying London should be open for education. But plenty of head teachers said it just wasn't possible. One education insider has told us that the reason that it's difficult to open in these circumstances is that you'll get a high number of unauthorised absences, and that won't look good for a school's attendance record. The government denied in a statement the targets were a factor in keeping pupils at home, and that was backed up by head teachers.
You're right about the targets, but I have to say I think that's very, very low down on the list of priorities for head teachers. They'll be thinking more about the safety elements.
In Surrey, 400 schools have closed, 351 in Berkshire, in Buckinghamshire 196, Hertfordshire 164, Essex 370 and in Kent 276. Nina is getting her head down trying to finish her accounts and hoping school will be open on Monday. Sarah Harris, BBC London News, Harrow.
Well, transport continues to be a problem for many because of the weather, and it's only set to get worse as the region faces dwindling grit supplies. Some rail companies are still running a restricted service, and London's airports continue to suffer. Matthew Morris reports now on what's being done to keep things moving.
OK, next we're going to have a look at the runway.
At Stansted, these men are keeping a close eye on the runway, while others keep a close eye on the weather forecasts. I spent a day with the team tasked with keeping the airport open.
You've got a 3-kilometre runway and 2 parallel taxiways and over 100 stands to clear, so there's a massive area that needs clearing continually.
Here, they're still clearing Wednesday's snow.
So what we've then done, once we've cleared the snow, is we then de-ice the airfield with a standard de-icer which cuts through any snow and ice, and it also protects the surface from any further build-up of snow or ice.
The airport was closed due to snow for 2 hours on Wednesday. Staff know this is very frustrating for passengers and can't guarantee it won't happen again at the weekend.
I've been with the airport for about 25, 26 years now, and certainly I've never experienced the length of cold weather that we've had and the extremes of weather. Closure for us is our last resort, but obviously safety is the primary accountability for us.
The region's roads are open, but keeping them safe is a big job.
We are doing mainly bus routes around the schools, around the churches, main roads. We cannot do every side road, every country, and this is impossible. I think whatever I'm doing is good for the community, good for the public.
As the government now manages salt distribution, county councils and London boroughs can now only ask for and hope they get what they need for next week. Matthew Morris, BBC London News.
In other news, George Galloway has been deported from Egypt. The Respect MP for Bow and Bethnal Green had been in the country with international activists trying to take aid trucks into the Gaza Strip. Egypt refused access, triggering protests and clashes on the Egypt-Gaza border. An outbreak of Legionnaire's disease has been confirmed at Basildon University Hospital. 2 patients are being treated for the condition, which infects the lungs and can be fatal. One of the patients is in a critical condition. Tests show the hospital is the source of the outbreak. Well, back now to how the bad weather is affecting us, and the region's hospitals are starting to feel the effects. Some are cancelling surgery, and accident units are having to deal with lots of cases of people who've slipped on the ice. Paul Curran has more.
Robert Trundle rang us after a fall left him on crutches. He was treated at St Peter's Hospital in Chertsey and wasn't the only one to have slipped over on the ice.
There was at least 12 people in front of me waiting to be seen, mainly slips and falls, and before I got seen there was 9 fractures.
The hospital says it's seeing about 20% more fractures than normal, mainly of ankles and wrists.
In Essex, Basildon and Thurrock Hospital has closed an operating theatre because of a burst water pipe. The Royal Berkshire Hospital has cancelled all non-urgent surgery and its outpatient clinics are closed. Lewisham Hospital has also cancelled elective surgery. Prioritising is also the name of the game at the London Ambulance Service.
We are husbanding our stretched resources for the really life-threatening calls. We will send to those first, and we will send other resources to the other calls later on. They may be somewhat delayed.
In Surrey, St John Ambulance has been helping out with its 4x4s. For the last few days, they've been working around the clock to get to places normal ambulances can't reach.
Karina and I went to an emergency where someone was on a sledge, came down the hill too fast and crashed into a great lump of trees at the bottom.
Overall, NHS London says it's coping well, although with the increased demand, some non-urgent appointments may have to be rescheduled for after the thaw. Paul Curran, BBC London News.
Well, let's find out whether we're going to get any more snow over the weekend with Peter Cockcroft.
We'll see.